boom. The last one did record. We're doing this one too, so we're going to be having more content for this. Very good. So where we left off last time is we had this. Now I'm going to check my dimension on this side, make sure this is also 2'5" because it should be, just because you always want to make sure. So always make sure you get in really close and you don't miss it. So that's 2'5". That's how that particular dimension is being reckoned right now. So we'll just go ahead and leave that alone. Boom, we're good to go. So 2'5" and 2'5" looks good. Okay, now, and what we're looking at right now is the other things we're going to do is we're going to continue on with the rest of this. So now here's the next thing. Taking a look back over to here, if I go back over to this, and I'm going to share this, you guys can see it. New share here. Can you guys see the custom garage east elevation PDF right now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay, now what we just did there is we did this bottom part just to be clear as far as what we've actually done. And does it help when I put the light on these things? Does that help you guys? This spotlight, this red marker, does that help you guys?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right,
Absolutely.
so we got right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I went ahead and drew this and we hatched it. We drew this rectangle and we dropped in these blocks which represent the garage doors. Okay, now, so we're looking good right now. Now, at this point right now, you should be able to do your other levels without a problem, but I'll show you how to do this one just so you can know to do this cantilever down here. Okay, now here's the next thing. Now this up here, it tells us right here, this is 15 feet. It's 15 feet at an angle of 37 degrees. So 15 at 37 will give us that tip right there. At least it should. So let's give that a shot. So 15 feet at 37 degrees. And let's see here, 15 feet goes, okay, that goes to the very end there, doesn't it? So, no, it goes right to there. So we'll go ahead and go back to AutoCAD. And I'm going to go over to here. And I'm going to do a new share because you guys got to see this. Can you guys see AutoCAD right now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go 15 feet at 37 degrees. So I change my layer to a layer that's appropriate. And what would an appropriate layer be but a roof? Okay, we'll use a roof. So I'm going to go line, and I'm going to go from here. And I'm going to type in 15 feet, tab. I hit my tab key, and then 37 degrees. 15 feet, 37 degrees. Boom. All right. Now at that point, that should be exactly where I need it to be, and I bring it down to here. And that should actually be correct right there. So if I went ahead and put in a dimension there, that should actually give me 15 feet. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I'm going back to my dimensions because you always want to check your dimensions, make sure it's accurate. And this is an aligned dimension, okay? So I want to use my aligned dimension going from here to here, and that should be 15.
Excuse me, Mr. Brennan, I'm sorry, I missed that.
What did you miss?
Could you go about the tab button again?
The tab.
Could you go about sending it up?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll go back a couple steps. Okay, so what you do right here is, so you're on the roof layer, and this is just a line right now. Okay, you're just gonna be making a line. Okay, so you start the line, and you go from here, and we'd said it was 15 feet at 37 degrees. So you can do it this way. I can go like this, and I can type in 15 feet. Okay, right now I'm just holding my cursor off like that. You notice my hands are off the mouse right now. So I can go ahead and type in 15 feet. Now what I do next is once I've typed in the 15 feet, to lock that value in and to have AutoCAD prompt me for an angle, I hit the tab key. So watch this, I hit the tab key. Now you can see it's asking me for an angle. 37 degrees is the angle, so 37 it is, boom. Now I pull it down here, and we should be good to go there. So now it's also 37 degrees. So I went ahead and did that. Does that help, Raphael?
Yes, it did. Sorry, it took me a while to answer. I tried to.
Not a problem.
I tried to put the mute on.
No, not a problem. This actually is probably faster than sitting in class, really, because I don't have to walk all the way back there. So it works out better. So this is good. So let's check this out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw a couple dimensions on here. Now, when you check, we looked at this before. This is just an aligned dimension. Now, an aligned dimension, I click on one end and the other end, and it's going to respect that. And then make sure I've got this one in the same way. This one should be 15 feet. Ooh, 15 feet and a half. Okay, that's not so good. So we don't work. Okay, so it looks like it's 37 degrees and maybe a little bit of a, looks like it's a little bit, okay, so what we'll do instead of this, I'm gonna go ahead and do this instead. So I'll do this, and I'm just gonna mirror it to make life a little bit easier. So if I mirror it, it's gonna give me the exact same thing And I'm going to mirror it right from this angle here, like that. And I should be able to pull it straight down. Boom. And no, I don't want to do that. Let me take a look at this. Okay, see, there's a little bit of a gap there, but that's okay. That's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. I'm going to fill out those, and it looks like it might just be within the realm. Okay, so we've got that, and okay, so that is, okay, well, that's what we got right there. It looks like it's within the tolerance. I guess that's what we're looking at right now. So it's not exactly what I want. It's off by a little bit.
I think it's because you have no overhang on the roof there, on the edge.
Actually, I've got that factored in also over here. That's actually got to be 1 foot 6 3/4 on the other side. So we'll get to that. Well, for right now, let's just leave this. Let's check and see if our angular works. So if I go from here and pick this line, it tells me that's 37 degrees. So we are pretty close, but not as close as we want to be. So I'm at 15 degrees and 37 degrees. So maybe what I do is, well, let's see here. I'm not too crazy about that. We'll leave it alone. Okay, so we got that right there. So that's going to work out right there. So we've got these two elements right here, 15 feet on this side. Let's see if this one, yeah, right now it's not anymore though. So now that creates a bit of a problem. So let's see here. What do I do here? Is that within the tolerance? Now it's 15 feet and 1/4. Okay, so that's not cool. So maybe this is actually 30. Oh, let me go back to the original drawing real quickly. Sorry about that. I hate to go over these things. We're right now in the east elevation. Okay, so here's the thing right here. Let me do this real quickly here. Let me see. It's 15 feet. Yeah, going right to the edge. Yeah, that's going 15 feet right to there. Yeah, it's 15 feet. So what is wrong there? That should be 15 feet. Yeah, 15 feet at 37 degrees. Let me just see if this angle is something different. Let me turn up the tolerance for that. Let me turn up the precision on that. Precision. Let's make the precision more like this. That's why. It should actually be 36.87 degrees. Okay, it rounds it up and that makes the difference. So that's the issue. Okay, so make the notation that's got to be 36.87. I'll do the same thing. Okay, so it does make a difference. So 36.87, and that 15 foot needs to be that. So 36.87 will get you there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over. Can you guys see this drawing that I'm working at right now, the completed version of it? Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go back over to here and back to where I was. Where was I? Okay, I was here. No, this is not the one. Nope, that's not it. Let me get to the one I was working with. Right here. Okay, so let me do this. Let me do it 36.87. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw these. Try this again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line this time using my roof. And this time I need to change that. Okay, so I'm going to go from here. And I'm going to go line. Okay, from here. And that's going to be, again, 15 feet tab. We talked about tab. 36.87, like that, 36.87. Now that should give us the accuracy that we need, although the rounding will be okay for us. So we're going to be okay there. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to do an aligned right here, make sure that it works okay here, from here to here. And that's 15 feet, so that one's okay. Let's make sure this one's 15 feet. This one should be, hopefully it is. Yeah, okay, so that works. And then when I put in the angular down here, it's going to just round it up, probably to 37 right there. Yep, that's it. So that's the secret. The actual measurement is 36.87. Make a note of that. Please mark down that this is actually 36.87. And if I were to actually change that, if I were to go here and ask it, and go to the properties right down here, it would tell us, let's see here, it's actually giving us the dimension right there. And right there, it's giving me right now a precision of 0. If I were to change this to something else to make it something larger, I could make it 36.87. But just make a note of that. Okay, that's something. I've got 37, 36.87 will take care of that problem. Does that make sense?
That was what I came up with, Mr. Brennan.
You came up with 36.87 too? 87?
Yes, and then it rounds it up to 37, as you said.
Top drawer, top drawer. Okay, very good. Okay, so we got that, and this is the thing. So, you know, sorry I missed that, you guys. To be honest, I put this all together, and I thought I had all the dimensions. Sometimes you run into that, and that's a teachable moment, though, because here's the thing. When you're working with AutoCAD, you can actually change the tolerance so that you are close enough, but actually are. I had students that would do this. I had students who would round off their drawings right there, so that if they were off by a little bit, they would hide it. So if they were like a 1/16 of an inch off or something, they just hide it by turning the precision up, and then I wouldn't see it, you know. But if I'd go in there and I'd find it, and then I'd ream them out, tell them. So this is the thing, though. You always want to get the dimension as close as possible. So the 37 degrees, I'm just telling you right now, rather than have it say 36.87, which I could do, I put in 37 degrees so it conforms your drawing. But in reality, what you probably would want to do here is go down here and change your precision, and change the angle precision from here to a place like that, and that's it right there. Okay, and that's how you resolve that problem right there. So that's using your properties. And again, anything that you click on, you can then right click, and when you click on it and right click, you can always get your properties. You go here and properties down here, and you can get any item that you want to. So we'll just leave that 36.87 so as not to add confusion. So we're in good shape there. So we got the two 15 feet dimensions. We're good to go there. Now, here's the next thing. Going back over to our drawing right here. Back over to here, and I'm going to go ahead and do a new share. And new share, what I want to share, I want to share this thing. Okay, can you guys see this right now? Can you guys see the PDF?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this 37 we just learned is 36.87. Now here's the next thing. First of all, there actually is a further alignment right here of 1 foot 6 3/4. Goes off 1 foot 6 3/4, and then the eve is 10.5 inches. So it's 1 foot 6 3/4, and then up 10.5 inches. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that 1 foot 6 3/4, and then over 10.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and do this. Can you guys see AutoCAD now?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to continue my roof line down here, and I can do this a couple different ways. One of the things I could do is I could stretch it, or I could just go like this, and it's picking that up. You see, it's smart enough that it knows that line's there. So when you pull off it, it's going to say, okay, how far you want to go? I understand what you want to do. So 1 foot 6.75, boom, and there it is. And then I go up my distance, which is straight up. Please notice it's straight up. It's not on any angle. 10.5, boom. At that point, I now have this angle right here. And then what I'd want to do is I'd want to make it parallel to this other one. So there's a couple things I could do here. I could actually use my parallel object snap, which is kind of cool here. If I shift right mouse click, these are your temporary object snaps. Now what I did there, let me do that again. If I hold my shift key down and right click my mouse, it brings this up right here. These are called object snap overrides. Those are accessed by holding your shift key down and right clicking your mouse. Now what happens with this now, this is good for one selection only. So the one I want is parallel, because I just want to make it parallel. So parallel, you see it right here. I'll go to parallel and I'll touch it here and watch this. See the little marker? See the little marker shows up there?
Yeah.
All right, now I'll go ahead and click on that and then watch this. Actually, I had it. Okay, let me try that again. I lost it because I went too far. So go to parallel again, touch it here, and then I pull up, watch this. Boom, see that? It pulls it right up. So now it's aligned with it using parallel. Or you could offset it. There's a couple different tools you could use there. I'm just going to go ahead and run it off into infinity. Okay, now once I've done that, I can do the same thing on this side. And just to illustrate, I'll do it again. So go to line, and I'll start it from, and then over on this side, well, I'd have to go down here, wouldn't I? So I have to continue down this direction. And we said that was 1 foot 6 3/4, 1 foot 6.75, boom. And then up 10.5, 10.5, like that. And then we're doing this again. Now, what do? I shift right mouse click. I choose parallel again, and I touch it. And when I touch it, it lets me lock into this tracking vector. I just pull this over till they intersect, till they go over the top of each other. Boom, I do that. And then these can just be trimmed off. You know, I use my fillet command and just go ahead and touch this and touch that, and it trims those out nicely. Okay, so we've got that. So that is how we do that. Now, what do we do next? We check our dimensions. So we go back to our dimensions. And I'm putting them on the ANO dimensions right here. And you got linear. Okay, so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and pick this up or actually this one, I'll make this one linear first of all, and I'll do it on this side to be consistent. And this should be 10.5 inches if I did it right. And it is. And then this one, if I make it aligned, it should be 1 foot 6 3/4. Let's see if it is. So here, over to here, and it is. Boom. Okay, so we got that. So we're looking good. So this is how we'd start to build this, and it's being built quite nicely. So now we've got this right now, and we have all these different elements in here. Now this line right here, I don't really need that so much, except for maybe putting in my next level. So what I'll do right now is while I'm thinking about it, I'll go ahead and I'll copy this level. I'll grab this information. Let's go ahead and copy this level up. And this level goes here. And then I just got to move my dimensions around because they're kind of on top of each other. So I just go ahead and move this over like that out of the way. So 10.5 inches right there. Does that. And then I've got that and we're looking good. And now this is level 2. So I double click on it, change to level 2, and it's 9 feet. Double click here, 9 feet. Boom, done. And so when I've done that, I now have my levels in place. Okay, now that I have that, I've actually got an extra line right there, and I can just leave that under there. Actually, these lines probably to be more properly put together, you probably want to pull them out to the side there a little bit, just so that they kind of extend beyond it. That's typically proper CAD practice. So I'm going to touch this and pull it down so it aligns it so that they're equal. So I've got this now. Now what's the next thing I do? Well, I've got a window, and I've got a window right here. And if you take a look back at this other thing that I was working with, I'm going to do a new share. Oops, okay, hi Lorraine. Sorry if you were locked out. And back to here, I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to go to new share, and I'm going to share this again. Okay, so back over to here. Now, I've got a couple things here. What do I want to do here? I want to put in this window. Can you guys see the PDF?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so this window is 3 feet up from this line. Okay, 3 feet up. So that's actually pretty easy. So which window is it? Well, there's only one in question. So that makes life a lot easier. So I'll go back over to here, and we will do this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, now to insert a window, we'd use blocks. And we did this last week. I'm going to use my A-glass, okay, A-glass right here, and I'm going to use my A-glass, and I'm going to insert. So we talked about insert before. If I go to insert right here, it shows me my blocks. And I've got right here, double hung with trim. That's what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Now, its insertion points a little, but also go ahead and drop this here. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and drop that there. Then I'm going to move it. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it down a little bit. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to draw a line for it to come to because it's supposed to be 3 feet off. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the middle here and go 3 feet up. Okay, make sure it's centered. And then 3 feet, boom. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down. So I move this down. Okay, so I move it, going to here, and I'm going to move it by its midpoint and allow it to go here. When I do that, boom, that should be the proper position right there. So we're good to go there. So now when I've done that, I'm going to put in a dimension. I'm going to go from here to here, and this should be 3 feet. And if it is, boom, we are in good shape. Okay, so still, and that should go onto the appropriate layer. So we are building this. Okay, so that's how you go ahead and put that in place. There's only one window in there. You place it. It's easy to place. You're good to go. And I can get rid of this line. Don't need that anymore. Okay, now at this point, I think we've got just about everything. The rest of the dimensions you guys can figure out, okay, because it's all right there on the thing. Let's see here. So 24 feet is the bottom, custom garage. Okay, one last thing, the hatching. The hatching is actually, it goes on this called A-wall pattern. A-wall pattern. And what we're going to do right here is we talked before about the actual particular look of that, and I gave you guys the listing on the PDF right there, and the PDF that we had there is custom garage details, which looks like this. Can you guys see this right here? Can you guys see this listing right here?
Yes.
Okay, so on this particular situation, I'm doing the east elevation. So the siding hatch is ARR shake, okay, which stands for architectural, like roof shake. Only we're putting them on the siding. At 0 degrees, scale is 1. And then the other hatch is AR concrete. Okay, so I'm going to go put those in there. So going back to here, I'm going to go back over and I'm going to go back into this. I'm going to hatch this. So on the wall pattern, I go to hatching. Now hatching is right here. I go to hatch, I click on there, change the ribbon. And so the first thing I do is I change this to ARR shake. And up here, you can see that the scale is set for 1 and the angle is 0. I'm going to go ahead and pull it right in here and boom. And boom, I picked those 2 areas, okay? Now, here's a little fine point I'm gonna show you. You'll notice that down here at the bottom, I can click on this right here, and one of the things I can do is I can actually change its origin, meaning I can actually tell it where it starts. So I'm gonna go to origin, and I'm gonna go onto here, and I'm gonna pick this lower left-hand corner. Now watch what happens to the hatch when I do this. I click on here, and it adjusts it. So now what happens, there's a full course of cedar shake at the bottom where it starts. That's the origin point. That is the correct way to apply hatch. You always want to pay attention to the origin point, which is what I did just there. Now, what else do I have here? We already saw this. We already saw that. So that's all looking pretty good here. The rest of this you guys can figure out.
Brian,
yeah.
when you drop the hash lines inside the garage, the face of the garage, after you chose it, the AR, whatever that was,
Yeah.
how did you like get it to drop into the face on the garage?
Good question. Quick lesson about hatching. Any kind of image you have, I'm just going to go ahead and get a different layer real quickly here. That's a great question. The question is, because this is, right now I love teaching AutoCAD, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a couple of different boundaries right here. Check this out. Okay, I got these 2. Then I'm going to make a third. I'm going to make a polyline that does not close. Okay, it's going to go boom, 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 boom. And again, the sound effects are voluntary. You don't have to do those. So I've got these 3 elements right here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up my hatch pattern here, which looks like this, which is a wall pat. Now here what I do is when I go up here and I change my hatch pattern, you'll notice it's already set there. Now watch this. Over here by default, it's set up to pick points. That means I just go ahead and pick a point. So all you got to do is pull your cursor inside of it, and it's that's all you got to do. And so I pull in here, it sees that. Pull it in here, guess what? Oh.
So once you pull it in there, do you hit enter?
You click your mouse.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that's what you're there. Now let me show you. Now I just can't. I would be remiss if I didn't show you this next thing. Okay, so getting back into this right now, I'm going to go here just because I guess I'm playing right now. Sorry about that, but hey, what's life if you can't have a little bit of fun? So one thing you can do right here when you're working with AutoCAD, you can go like this, and then you can put another circle inside of this one here, and watch what happens. So I'm going to put 2 circle inside of a circle, wheel within a wheel. Okay, now watch what happens when you do this. If I go here and if I put in some hatch, watch how it treats this arrangement here. I click it right there and it put it there. Now check this out. If I click on this circle and I move it, I move a little bit, ain't that cool? It recognizes the boundary. So much so, so if you overlap it, it does that. So there's an intelligence in it. So it's hard to screw up hatching. It really is. I mean, that being said, I've done it many times myself, but it's a lot better now. And, it's pretty easy to do. You just click inside, it'll take care of it. As long as you got a good boundary, So if it doesn't work for you and it gives you those little red circles, that means it's not connected somehow. So that would be your only issue. Okay, before I proceed, I've shown you pretty much everything except the text. I'll show you the text, then I'll see if there's any questions, and then I'll let you guys rip into this thing. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is I've already set up text styles, dimension styles, and multiplier styles because I care. Okay, so because I've done that, you've now got this. Your text styles are already set up. So if I go here to my multi-line text, I'm going to put in my text right now. Now you're going to see how tiny it is right now. Well, one of the things about this, as you begin to put this in right now, I click on one point and I take my hand off the mouse. Okay, I picked one point, and now AutoCAD is kind of looking at me saying, "What's he going to do? What's he going to do?" All right, now AutoCAD, always remember when you look at the AutoCAD command line and it says "or," that means there's some options. And what I want to do right now is I'm not happy with my text being that small, so I want to make it larger. So how do I do that? I right-click my mouse and Shazam, over here, I've got height. This, you don't have to do it this way. You can change the height 20 different ways, but this is just a little shortcut. So you click on height, and then what's the height? Well, presently it's set for 1/8 of an inch. I want to make it 0.25. That'll make it 1/4 of an inch. So I do this, I pull it down. Now that looks a whole lot better. And now what I can do is I can type in this, this text. Custom garage east elevation.
Mr. Brennan?
Yeah.
Okay, I had a problem when I was typing in the text with the I don't know, when you press on text and the box comes up,
Yeah.
then leaving the letters underneath the drawing. When I tried to click outside the box, it took the text editor, and it also took the letters that I had typed in. And I tried it 4 different ways to get out of the text editor and leave the text, but it was taking the text too.
Okay, let me show you how the text works here. If you go to text, okay, first of all, you click here, and then right now, again, I didn't pick the other side right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick the other side. So once you pick the other side, you put in your text. Here is some text. Okay, like you've done that. Now that I've done this, here's one of the funny things. Usually in most AutoCAD commands, you have to hit enter to get out of it. But here, because it's a word processing function, it just thinks you want to keep on putting in returns, okay? So the way you get out of it is you click outside of it like this, boom. Now, that's what you should do. Now, if I can't recreate your error right here, but what happens sometimes is you could do this and you say, here is some text, and then at that point, if you just kind of like, you know, hit your escape key or something, you know, then you can lose it like that. Okay, so you just have to click outside of it, or the other way you do it is you click on here, and here is, oh, I'll do that again. Okay, so click here and there, and then here is some text. And then I'll just go ahead, you hit the close text editor. Here's the other safe way to do it. You click that and you get out of it. So those are the ways you want to do it. I'm not sure what happened with what you were doing right there, but
I tried all 3 of those ways, and
Yeah.
it just wouldn't leave the text. I didn't understand it because I never had a problem doing it before.
yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll have better luck next time I try.
Is your machine, here's the thing, if you're using a machine that's not really built to handle AutoCAD, it may be that. It may be that.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, I don't know either. And so it's like, but it could, I've actually seen sometimes what'll happen is AutoCAD will do a regen, or kind of like it'll kind of like, it's an undocumented feature, as we call it, where AutoCAD will just kind of like actually get you out of a command because it doesn't know what to do. And because it's being troubled, because
I also want to say, that was the floor plan, the first one, number 1, and when I went to try and send it to you from Blackboard, I didn't see a submit button, and I had saved it to my S drive, and I tried sending it. I'm not sure if you got it or not. So I was just wondering if maybe you can check and see if you got it.
which one was that? That was
the first floor plan.
in this
and-
one?
Pardon me?
You mean for the custom garage first floor plan?
No, it was just the drawing, with the doors and windows.
Yeah, did you, well, if you're not sure, just if the thing is, take a look. If you don't have a grade, then I'm not going to do it right now. But the thing is, what you could do is just look and see if it's graded. If I graded it, then I got it.
Right, well.
Did you look and see if you graded it? If I graded it?
I didn't see any prompts to find that out, whether you graded it or not. I'm not sure. Maybe there's something wrong with Blackboard and the way things are set up, because,
Yeah.
like I said, there was no submit button. I didn't see any grading or anything about whether it was graded or not.
Well, here's the thing. When you're submitting, now you've submitted other things before because I've gotten them.
Right.
So it should be the same thing. And so as far as that goes, let's just, well, here, listen, I don't want to take up the class time for this. It looks like we're going to get cut off again here. So we can talk about that offline, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll continue on through here. Okay, so back to here, that is how you go ahead and work with some text. Okay, so now that you've got that, we're going to go ahead and now that I've got this in place right here, I went ahead and put this together, and the only thing I've got to deal with at the very end here is I've got one more down here, and this particular line has to actually kind of like go off on an angle, so it's not that hard to do. We can just go ahead and copy this again. So I'm going to copy this, I'm going to copy this stuff again, and I'm going to go from here to here like that, just like we've been doing. only one I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna move this down a little bit further. Move it down a little bit further, and just to give me kind of like a little kind of a break line here. And so I can read it a little bit easier. And then what I'm going to do is the line, let's see here, how'd that, okay, so the line right here. I want to take the line, I'm just going to go ahead and just draw a line from here to there. And I'm going to go ahead and use this. You know, you just put a little kind of a thing here. You're just going to take it and go from here, and then it goes over, and then it goes up on an angle. Just kind of like get it over on an angle, you know, kind of like that. Doesn't, I'm not looking for perfection, and I just want it to be basically like this is, you know, basic, you know, so you can pull that over like that. Nothing too tricky. And then down here, it's going to say footing, and you'll notice this is underneath here. So I'm going to go ahead and move these down. It's going to move this one and this one down. Okay, over down to here like that. And I may have to dink around it a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it down a little bit. And it's just say footing. And get rid of this. And, you know, just basically just CAD stuff, you know, you're just moving lines, nothing too tricky. And then this one right here is going to be, what's that, -2 feet. So negative 2 feet. All right, like that. Like that. -2 feet. Okay, so you got that. So that's your footing. Okay, now that is essentially all you're going to need to do this right here. Now, I've left in a few dimensions there. You're going to make it look like the sheet I gave you. That's what you want to do. So that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to work on. And then when you're all done, you're going to save as, and you're going to save it to your desktop, and you're going to call it custom garage east elevation dash your last name, like that. So you got that. Okay, so that is what you're going to do. That is for the east elevation. Okay, now the others are like unto it. Okay, so a custom garage west elevation looks like this. Okay, this is not too tricky. Same thing, only you don't have anything else. So it's dimensions the same thing. So it's the same thing, only it's easier. Okay, so there's custom garage elevation. Then you've got a north elevation here, and the north elevation looks like this. The north elevation has this, and over here you've got a door on this side right here, and this door. Again, I'm just you know, it's a block, and this one is called, it's a door double glass. This is a double glass door right here, and you'll notice that the actual dimensions to the door go to the outside of the frame. They go to the outside of the frame. That's how that works right there. Then over on this side, it also goes outside. So you have to be careful. This one's going to the inside of the frame. This one's going to the inside of the frame, but they need to be 4 feet. So again, this one, I'm sorry, this one's going inside the trim to the actual opening of the door to 4 feet. So you want to make it that way, 4 feet to there. And then it's 4 feet here also to the inside of the trim. Okay, so it's 4 feet for both the windows from the edges. Your hatching, I gave you those values. Essentially, it's the same kind of a thing. The values are right there. Piece of cake. This is something you guys can do. That's the north elevation. South elevation, same kind of a thing. Only this right here, you've got a window placed here. And the window right here is 5 feet. And 5 feet, please notice where it goes, where it measures the 5 feet from. Measures it from this part right here. Measures it from that. Basically, you got the third line out. So you got the glass. You got this. Okay, I'll just show you real quickly what it's measuring to. It's measuring to this line. Okay, so you got the outside line, and then the next line in. That's the one the 5 foot is measuring to. That's where you're going to, on both sides. So that's how the block is constructed. That's how that'll go in there. That's pretty straightforward too. And then all these, basically, you have your templates, okay? And so you're good to go there. So that is what we have going on there. So that is what you're gonna do. There are gonna be 4 drawings, okay? You're gonna basically save each, actually for this one, let's do this. For actually putting this one together, because they're all, it's actually gonna be easier for you to go ahead and do them all in one drawing and then just kind of copy them over. Like for instance, the south elevation and the north elevation are essentially just a mirror of each other. You can just like mirror it and then make that. So what I'd like you guys to do is do that. Just go ahead and set it up in 4. Okay, so I can see it in 4 different views. And then at that point, we'll be good to go. I'll go ahead and do that. So what I'm talking about is this then. What it's gonna look like is you're gonna put that together, and just to show you how that's gonna look. Okay, just to make it clear. I'm going to do this, okay, to make it real clear. I'm going to go ahead and grab this, and let me do a couple things here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, so I got this one, I've got this one, I've got these others. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Now in AutoCAD, one thing you can do here is you can actually go up here and you can go to your view here. And if you go to view, you can actually tell AutoCAD that you want to tile all of your elements either vertically or horizontally. I'm just going to say tile vertically. Now, when I go to tile vertically, it's going to go here. Now, I've got all these different plans here. So I've got more than I need. Okay, so what I'm going to do, will zoom all work? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to go to each one. I'm going to go to each one of these and kind of like pull them out like this. Boom, 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 and then over here, boom, boom, and then over here. Okay, so I've got all these different elements. Okay, and what I would do right here, I've actually got a couple extra open right here. I don't need this one. I can get rid of that. And yeah, I don't need that. Okay, so I've got these different drawings right here. So I'm just going to pick one of these drawings. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and I'll pick this right here, which is my okay, I'll just use this, which is this elevation right here. This is my east elevation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these other elements inside. Let me show you how easy. I'm just going to go ahead and drag these in here, and then I'll let you guys kind of see how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and you guys are just going to draw all in one. I'm just going to show you how you can pull elements from one drawing to another. I'm going to take this and drag it over. Pretty easy, huh? All right, and then I go ahead and so you can actually pull elements very easily from one AutoCAD drawing to another, like this, like that. And then I'm going to grab this one. Okay, and so once I have all this is what you guys are going to have when you're all done. This way, you can just save this all as one right there. So copy here. Okay, so now what I've got here is I would actually save this right here as, and what I would align these, okay? But that's what you want to have. Is that making sense? Can you guys see this okay? You guys seeing all four in one right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Now, at that point, you can actually align them right there, but that gives you your east elevation, your west elevation, your south elevation, and your north garage elevation. And you can line those up, and you know, you guys understand what I mean by that. I could go ahead and say, okay, well, okay, this is not really lined up quite correctly, so I want it to actually move over to here, so it actually lines up like this. And I pull it up like that, boom, like that. And then that's actually looking pretty good. And I can do the same thing with this. Say, okay, this needs to, need to line this up here. Remove this, we go like this. And I'm gonna grab this at the upper left corner, touch it here,